Picking up from that report, you have revenue of SM Prime's mall business skyrocketing 92% in the first half. That's 20.6 billion pesos. This is quarantine restrictions ease. Is this a sign that things have returned to pre-pandemic levels for SM malls? And do you see the malls unit sustaining these gains for the remainder of the year?
Okay. We have been monitoring, especially with the last 2 months, because of course, the rising costs, inflation, fuel, cost of fuel. But we have seen great numbers still in terms of sales and revenue, even last July. No? We've just closed a few days ago our numbers, and we're quite confident that this will continue despite all the challenges that we are facing.
But more on that as well, do you expect the operation of your mall tenants to be affected, especially considering the elevated levels of inflation, especially in the first half? Your mall rental income surged by as much as 80%. Do you expect that still to continue?
Yes, we are still very confident about the sales or the business of our tenants because, we have a lot of OFW remittances. Is still very strong, and as a matter of, but more than anything, I think SM Supermalls really, this is really not a, it's perceived as a place for value for shopping or value for your money.
But did you at least experience some tenants closing shop during the period, especially June, July, when inflation was at an all-time high?
As a matter of fact, no, we grew. June, we grew 2% points. And this July, we just closed. We improved another 1% point.
Now, also, we did see reports of SMO saying that, you are going to let go of concessions that were put in place during the pandemic. By how much do you see this as well affecting your take-up in the mall space? And do you see this also bumping up rental income?
Last year, we were giving rental concessions really until December. This year, we've slowly lifted it up, and we are already in full swing as early as April, May. But of course, there are some isolated malls that we still have to assist our tenants. It's case-to-case basis, but there's no more rental concession across all board.
But at the same time as well, can you give us an idea on the performance of your malls here, depending on regions? Is it an improvement that you saw for the first half of the year across the board here, across all regions, or are there still some localities which are lagging behind?
Well, majority of our malls are already back to pre-pandemic level. However, there are of course some malls that still need some assistance because some LGUs also open up later than the others, no, because of the cases. It really depends on the region or the area where we are. But majority were already back to pre-pandemic level.
And that, of course, brings down our conversation to foot traffic as well. Is that also back to pre-pandemic levels? What can you say about the consumer behavior? Is this still a case of revenge spending?
Yes. Well, a lot of pent up, demand for going back to the malls. No, we see that since the easing of restrictions for minors and also for age over 65, that has really helped improve our malls. And besides, there's a lot of new activations that we have been doing. There's a lot of efforts from the side of the malls. Creating activation, magical experiences, and all these things that really led this growth. Now, I think people are excited also to get together with their friends and loved ones.
All right. Now, also in our past conversation, Steven, you mentioned how you do not expect cinemas to be revenue generating, at least during that period wherein cinemas were starting to reopen. Is that still the case now?
We are very surprised that it got back earlier than what we expected. We are already on a positive. We have positive numbers as early as May. Well, it's also because of all the big Hollywood movies, the likes of Thor, Doctor Strange, and for the whole balance of the year, we expect a lot of good Hollywood big blockbuster movies still. No, the likes of Avatar will launch, and MMFF. I saw the lineup of MMFF. It's quite encouraging.
By positive numbers, can you give us more details on that? And do you also expect somehow, since we're seeing a surge in cases yet again, do you see that affecting the numbers of SM Cinemas as well?
No, because recently Thor has given us great numbers as well. It's actually higher, especially that it's not only the cinema that we have in our malls. No? We have the ice skating rinks, we have the bowling. Those are even doing better than 2019 numbers. We have exceeded actually the numbers by double digits with our ice skating rink and bowling centers, or all our fun and entertainment rides. However, in the case of cinema, we have seen growth, and the numbers are positive, but yet it's approximately around 80% pre-pandemic level.